Hello, everyone. My name is Adam Amin. I'm a junior at Milton Academy, and today I'll be demonstrating Turath, which is the app I built. So, Turath is basically a cloud based platform that allows you to build your custom AI transcription engine for archival documents. So, what I've learned is that off the shelf large language models like ChatGPT or Google Gemini, they're actually pretty decent at reading text off of documents and transcribing them and translating them and extracting metadata. However, they only work if you give it the context that it needs, right? Like you're able to shape how good is your response based off all of the context you put in. So Turath is basically an app that allows you to feed all of your archival context into an AI engine, and it forks off a custom AI transcription engine that, has all the context of your archive, the domain glossaries, like specific terms that are specific to your documents or what you're researching, and also the exact metadata you want it to extract. So it allows you to build that for all of your different sort of collections or things that you're working on. And the way it does that is it takes you through this onboarding process. So if I was to create a new project, call it Bravorsky Notes, the first thing it would ask me it would ask me to upload sample documents. It would ask me to upload, 3 documents with, an example document from my archive with the transcriptions that I've made so that it knows what it has to work on. So, for example, these are 5 notes from the Bravorsky Notes collection, and I can type in my transcription, and then generate based off these transcriptions. The AI generates its own system prompt and its own domain glossary. So it looks for things that might be relevant to this archive and the history relevant to this archive, and it includes all of that. So for the sake of time, I've already built this archive out, and so here you can see that um, it's built the system prompt for me, right? So first it has the diacritical transliteration table about how the specific Egyptologist writes all of his notes, and then it has like what the card may contain, and then it has the transcription rules, like what it has to do, and it also has a hieroglyphic transcription protocol. So this is interesting because it allows it to actually transcribe hieroglyphs directly, like text characters like these. And then I also have my domain glossary, so of course I can add to this or I can change it if I feel any more terms or specific words have to be, defined uh, for the AI, because a lot of archives have specific, dictionaries, have specific words that other people wouldn't use. So here's my project. I can go in, I can upload, the cards we were just looking at. I'll upload these 5 just as an example. And so the AI will run 3 in parallel. Obviously, in the future, I hope to, bring this number up. It's gonna transcribe all of them, so we'll just wait a bit for that. And what I wanted to achieve by building Toroth is really a platform that allows, researchers and institutions alike to be able to mass digitize their archival documents, right? Like I think we're moving to a world where the digitization will be sort of like imperative, especially as we move towards AI and being able to do so many things with AI. And so I wanted to make this accessible. I also think that right now the field of archaeology, especially when you're looking at historical documents, there's a bit of a, not exactly a bottleneck, but there's a barrier for transcribing documents at scale, which means that the average researcher, wouldn't be able to transcribe these documents. So back here we can see that the AI has finished the first 3 note cards I uploaded to it, and now it's going through the rest of them. So just gonna wait for that really quick. And keep in mind, it's transcribing these cards based off of the context that we've already fed it. So it's pretty accurate. I would say it's about 95% accurate, or 95 to 98% accuracy based on my tests. While we wait, we can review the cards that have already been done. So for example, we have this card. Um, the AI has subtracted if any object types were mentioned, what were they? If any Egyptian titles were mentioned, what were they? Um, and then it's given us the direct translation, the direct transcription, sorry, and whether any hieroglyphics are present. And so I can go in, and if I see any mistakes, I can edit this. Uh, I don't see any mistakes, so I'm going to mark it as reviewed. Then we have this card. This one actually has hieroglyphics, and we can see that the AI has detected the hieroglyphics pretty accurately, um, which is pretty impressive. It's also detected hieroglyphics present as true, and it's transcribed this text here and the text under that, so we can mark this as reviewed. Um, Here we have this card, pretty simple, looks accurate. And then these, let's see if it's done yet. Go back and check. Okay, there it is. Yep. So it has finished these last ones. It has detected these hieroglyphics. I think it's actually detected them as accurate as inaccurate. So I can go in and fix these if I want to. So once you've saved all of your documents, now you can search them. So if I want to find documents mentioning Anubis, for example, I can search up and I can find what the what documents in my archive mention Anubis. So as we see here, we say uh, Anubis. Yeah, Anubis right here. This is really helpful for researchers who want to be able to search their documents very, very easily. I can go back. I can, retype this, and we have all of these different matches. We have 10 matches, so I can go through and I can use these as evidence if I'm writing a paper, etc. And then you can actually chat with a chatbot that is solely based off the documents you've uploaded to it. So, what documents mention Anubis, for example, and what do they mean to the field? So it's going to come back to me with a response that's just based off of, and it's going to pull from these documents. Let's see what it says. These references indicate Anubis' role as a deity associated with decreased decease in the Western land. Interesting. So I can ask any questions like, what is the significance of this collection as a whole? So they are individual index cards entries. Obviously, since it's only based off the documents, it's sort of limited in its ability to respond. But in the future, I might try to broaden that. And then to view the different connections between your, you know, entities in the cards, the AI extracts all the different entities, so people, locations, and the organizations, and it creates like a knowledge graph, and it creates a directory of these entities. So if I was to go to, unfortunately, the problem is that it thinks some of these titles are actual people, um, based off of the cards. But if I was to go here, I can see why it thinks it's a person. I can go to all of the related entries, like Upper and Lower Egypt. And I can see also all of the mentions of it. So if we were to go here, there's two documents that mention Gardenier symbols. And so I can look at those. I can go and directly look at those, which is really, really helpful. And I can just go through and see all this stuff. And then when I'm ready, I can export all this data. Um, but the goal is that this is enough for you, and you can export what you want. And so in the end, what I want to build is something that is accessible to researchers, right? You can go in and see the system prompt, and if you want, you can edit it. It's not like a black box, but it also makes it easy for someone who's not familiar with AI to go in and build their own transcription engines. And so in the future, what I want to do is sort of expand on the capabilities of the chatbot, increase the amount of documents that can be sent at one time. Hopefully, just continue to refine the project and scale it up. So, yeah, thank you for listening.